Okay, ready? See, I didn't get the countdown again.
See, I see the countdown.
I never saw the countdown. Why does this keep happening to me? It went 5 and then started. I'm like, caught me with my hands in the cookie jar. Anyways,
In the tick.
ticket. Okay. Anyways, hey everyone, welcome back to You Be the Judge. We are your host Charlie, aka Tuki, and my co-host.
I'm Geometric Bananas.
This is a podcast where we discuss other people's drama, and you must defend the party you're assigned to the best of your ability, and you will be assigned to it through a coin flip. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with today's show.
You be the judge right now. You can be the judge right now. You be the judge.
Here comes the judge.
You be the judge right now. Come on now and be the judge.
So here we are with another episode back in your ear holes. We got quite a few funny stories today, and can't wait to get through them. I mean, we got a cock blocking sister to I mean, let's be honest, there's no other way to put that, right?
Yeah, you're right about that.
A rebellious daughter after her father passed away, and a little intermarital drama. So let's go ahead and get started with today's episode, shall we?
No, let me get my notepad first.
Oh no.
Hold on.
You-
Okay, I have my notepad.
Unprepared.
Okay, go. I have my pen now.
Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and start reading the first story, so let's get going. Am I in the wrong for telling my sister to stop taking showers with her husband in my house? I'm a 32-year-old female, and my sister, a 28-year-old female, and her husband, 32-year-old male, moved in with us 2 days ago after they lost their apartment to medical debts for their child, my nephew. My husband and I are more than happy to have them stay for a few weeks until they get resolved. However, yesterday at 7 p.m., I was in the kitchen when my husband rushed in and said that he saw both my sister and her husband walk out of the bathroom. They'd most likely taken a shower together. My husband said that it irked him, and I agreed that what they did was something inappropriate. He asked me to speak to my sister on the matter, and I did. She got very defensive, asking how it's affecting me or my husband in any way. I told her that it made my husband feel uncomfortable and would rather that they just take their showers separately. She started ranting about how being overwhelmed by their son's health problems and not having some alone time together as a married couple, and found this activity as a bonding time to spend together. I apologized for how she felt, but requested that she do just as asked. She got mad at me and said that I was being inconsiderate and she didn't understand my husband's hang up on what she said and her husband do. Wait, she got mad at me and said that I was being inconsiderate and she didn't understand my husband's hang up on what she and her husband do. Oh, okay. Like what their business is together. Got it. We started arguing and she stormed off to get to the guest room where my nephew and brother-in-law are. She's not speaking to me, but my husband said that I did the right thing by speaking to her and setting this boundary. Am I in the wrong? And did my husband overreact? Here's a few additional informational notes that they added. My husband did not mention hearing anything. Giggity. Just that he saw them get out of the bathroom. And yes, they were clothed. 2. It's the only bathroom in the house. 3. They approximately spent about 10 plus minutes in the shower, according to my husband. Well, I mean, how much quality time is that?
Yeah.
You know? Okay, so am I in the wrong? Ooh, I have all kinds of strong opinions about this. This is just I will get to that my true opinions at the end of our 10-minute rant. So let's go ahead and flip the coin, see who I have to defend since I started the reading.
Go for it. Wait, I didn't give you the penny. Do you still have the penny?
I'm not dropping another penny. I already flipped the coin here. Do you want to get the penny?
I'm gonna have to get the penny.
Oh my
That
god.
thing is broken.
Okay, then you flip the coin because I have ADHD and every single time I touch that thing I drop it. You saw what happened on the last podcast.
Yeah, let's give the coin to the clumsy one.
Okay, so our options are the clumsy one or the ADHD person who won't
Just
stop playing
don't
with it.
play with it.
And this is not a
Ding.
penny, this is a quarter.
I couldn't find a penny.
Okay, well, you tried. So
Just keep your hands off of it. Don't play with it, no matter how shiny it looks.
It's my shiny. I will play with it as much as I want. All right, here I am flipping the coin. I got. This is a weird looking quarter. I got a house with a guy sitting next to the house. So I guess
That's
tails?
the new quarters.
Okay, so I guess I got tails. So I am defending.
So yeah. Wait, no.
Ha ha ha! You're
Aw,
you're
man.
the defending the poster. That's what you get for being cocky. That's
That
what
went
you
south
get.
so fast!
Yes, yes, yes. Oh my God! All I gotta say is
Well, well, well. How the turntables.
For
exactly.
real.
Thank you, Michael Scott, for that one. So since I did the reading,
Mm.
I will go ahead and get it started, and I'm marking the 2-minute mark right here. Let's go. Okay, so I mean, there's not really much I'd have to defend here from the from the brother-in-law and the sister. They have a tremendous amount of issues going on. They just lost their apartment. Their son is going through some severe health issues. They're living in what I'm assuming is going to be minimal privacy amongst themselves because they're living in a guest room all together. The only time these two get to spend together is in the bathroom. I mean, other than that, the only time they're going to be able to spend some time together to get a little nookie, if you know what I mean, is
Ding.
when the sister and the brother are out and somehow somebody's babysitting the sickly child. That's the only time they get together. So I mean, this story is pretty self-explanatory in my opinion. I really don't need much of a defense other than that, but let's be honest, they're a married couple. They owe them nothing. If you're taking a shower with your spouse, one, you're not being loud to where it's unreasonable to children, if there are any, from the poster side, right? Two, they're coming out clothed. They're not being inconsiderate of what they're wearing. Three, the only reason why he knew they were showering together is because he saw them walk out. It wasn't for any other reason other than just that. I mean, come on, let this couple have their alone time.
Okay,
So
so
that's all I gotta say.
all right. Well, the first thing that I want to tackle is the husband says that he stumbled upon them in there together. He does it say if he my
He
husband
saw
did
them walking out. He just saw them walking out of the restroom together. That's it.
Okay, so it's not like he knew that they were in before they walked out.
No, he knew because he saw them walking out together.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. For him and her to both not know that they were in there, who was watching the kid?
What if he was taking a nap?
Okay, but even still, if you've got a kid, you let your sister know, hey, we're going to go take a shower together.
Were you going to go take a piss?
Yeah.
They're going to go take a piss together. That's interesting.
We're going to go
Now
take
that went south so fast.
Yeah. We're going to go take a shower together. Can you please keep an ear out for him? He's taking a nap. And doesn't even sound like he was taking a nap. So who was watching the kid? They just jumped in together, assuming that she'll watch the kid. They didn't even ask for her to keep an eye on it. So what if the poster and her husband would have left the house? Who would have been keeping an eye on the kid?
I mean, they're a married couple. Do they really need to get permission for that, though?
There's one bathroom in the house.
Okay.
So if there's one bathroom in the house, if they're taking a shower together, they're doing more stuff than just showering. So
Correct.
okay, but that makes it, that gives that, it says right here that they were in there longer than 10 minutes. So imagine how much shorter of a time the shower would have been had she been alone.
It would have been much longer because, from my experience in our lovely marriage here, you can't take a shower that's less than 2 hours long. By the time you're done with all your opera singing and your
hey man,
acting in there
my concerts sell out. Okay. My point is that right here it says that they took over 10 minutes in the shower. For them to be in there for that long, they were doing more stuff than just taking a shower. What if, because there was only one bathroom, what if, one of them had to go to work? What if they had to go somewhere and they needed to use the bathroom to get ready? Not even having to go anywhere, just having to use the bathroom, period. You're there.
If you're going to complain about 10 minutes, okay, not being, you miss your appointment because of 10 minutes of the shower, then that's your fault for not getting ready ahead of time. You know that there are more people living in this house, and granted, I get it. They have to accommodate to you because they're living in your house.
Yes.
But ultimately, you allow them in. So you also have to make consideration for the fact that they are now living with you.
Okay, but you said it right there. This is your house. They
Correct.
came to stay with you.
Correct.
They need to take into consideration. They can't just be jumping in the shower together without one asking if you could watch the kid. To make sure, hey, I just need to make sure you guys are not going to go anywhere, that you don't have any appointments, because we're going to take a shower together. I just need to know, are you guys going to need to use the bathroom? That's what you do. That's common courtesy. Doesn't matter if it's your sister, whoever. It doesn't matter how you're related or not related to the person that you're staying with in their home. You give them that consideration.
But it's just, if you seriously were late to whatever it is you were trying to get to over 10 minutes, that is piss poor time management on your part. And that applies whether these
Coming from
in-laws-
the person who doesn't start getting ready when we have to go somewhere until like 5 minutes before.
And yet I'm still ready before you.
No, sir. Nope. When we are late,
Every
we
single
are
time I'm sitting on the couch,
Nope.
you scrolling through TikTok.
You
playing
are
Angry
a
Birds.
liar.
I
You
do
know
not
what?
lie.
Liar. You're a lying liar who lies.
I am not a lying liar who lies. I tell
Yes,
the truth
because that
my
is why
nose-
I
my
take.
nose did not grow. Okay, my nose
This-
did not grow, and I can still see it right here at the tip.
This is why I account 2 hours before we need to go somewhere, because that's how long it takes me to get ready. And if we have to be somewhere by 7:30, I will start getting ready. Yes or no? I'll start getting me and the
you
kids
start getting ready
like
the
at
day
3.
before.
Yes,
Start getting ready
exactly.
the day before.
That means that I am ready, because I
So
know
then
how long
why
it
can't
takes
he
me.
just get ready? Why can't he just get ready a bit earlier to account for those 10 plus minutes? And mind you, this is not happening every single day. This is not happening every single day, which I feel bad for them, because that's an intimate moment between a couple is very important in my opinion. Very, very important. So if you can't account for a 10-minute buffer for whatever your plans are, I'm sorry, but that's piss poor time management on your part. Period. Whether or not these people were living with them or not.
They
Because-
can't. For them
What
to
about
have.
traffic? Are you counting for traffic? Are you counting for possibly having a flat tire when you walk out? Are you accounting for possibly spilling something on your clothes and didn't realize it to run back inside? Like, are you really cutting your time management so short that 10 minutes is going to make or break you?
This is taking into account assuming that he has to be somewhere. But what if he doesn't have to be anywhere, and this is just the people in the house having to use the bathroom? You said that this is that they don't really get to have alone moments
I'm
together.
sorry, but if you are a grown adult and you cannot hold your bladder for 10 minutes,
Hey, dude,
you
people
have to be
medical
either a
issues. There are medical issues that people have that they cannot hold it. I personally know somebody, the minute she has to pee, she has to drop everything that she's doing and find a bathroom ASAP.
well, let's find out if these people have a backyard, because guess what? That's an option too.
Okay, but what about that? Let's say that that's perfectly fine for the husband. What about the wife, the sister? You expect her to just bare her ass everywhere and
I mean, I seen a little tool that you strap inside your jeans, and they just kind of
right.
create
So
a
let's
little
have
funnel.
her. Let's have her do that in her own backyard.
I mean, I've done it.
Let's not get into those stories.
No, let's not. That's a story for another time.
Yes, it is. But my point is that you said that they don't have any time alone together. They, even if they are sharing the room with their son, you have that moment that you could be intimate together at night when everybody is asleep.
Assuming he doesn't wake up.
Hey,
Any parent.
No, sir. You and me,
Oh.
before you and me got our house, we lived in an apartment. We shared the room with our oldest, and he
Correct.
was in our room with us
Correct.
for like what, 2 years.
And whenever you heard that bed move, what did you do?
We would stop.
Exactly. Do
But-
you think that's entertaining?
No, it's not, but we still made it work.
Can you imagine being at the end of the session and then like stop? That is the worst. Sorry, kid. It's your turn to be traumatized right now because I'm not stopping. Like, where do we draw the line? You know?
My
No,
point,
I'm sorry. It's you need your privacy. I'm sorry, you do.
yes, but when you are in a situation where you have to be at someone else's house, you need to be considerate. And keep in mind, if you see two people going into the bathroom together to take a shower, you know what's happening. You know what's going on.
The fact that they're in the same room, where do you think the child came from? Like, if they still believe this child was dropped off by the stork?
Obviously, but you know what?
Words are hard, guys.
Today, Junior.
This is my point. At the end of the day, I know I'm going to piss a lot of people off by saying that, but at the end of the day, it is still their house. If the owner of the house is uncomfortable with them taking a shower together, they have to respect that at the end of the day because it is his house.
You know what I think it is? I don't think he's getting enough, and I think that's why he's complaining. Just saying.
You know
Just
what?
saying.
If that
Just
is
saying.
if that is the
jealousy.
case,
It's jealousy.
if that is the case, they still got to respect it because it's his house.
All right. Well, the timer is at 11 minutes already, so we let that go on long enough. That was torture just to have to defend. My honest opinion to the poster, you are being. God, I'm trying to find the nicest way to put this, but no, you're dead wrong. That's the nicest way I can put it. You are dead wrong. This is a married couple. They are beyond under stress, and your uptight husband who's complaining about them having a moment of intimacy when they're beaten down, dragged to the floor, and at their worst moments, both emotionally, financially, probably physically, and in their worst moments, and you want to kick them while they're down. I'm sorry, but screw you and your husband. That you guys are dead wrong for that, and that is my god honest opinion about that. I feel really strongly about this scenario. So yes, your uptight husband is being extremely uptight. Let them have their peace, okay? They are life has dragged them to the ground, okay? Everybody will go experience their moment in life. Everybody will have their rock bottom moment. Trust me on that one. Everybody will, okay? Everybody has, and if you haven't yet, believe me, your day's coming. Everybody has it. And it's at those it is at those very moments when you feel beaten down, dragged to the floor, dragged through the mud, and you feel like there's no way out. Those tiny little moments that you get make the world for you. So, yes, you are more than dead wrong for what you're doing. That's my take on it.
My opinion is the husband and okay, so the poster, which is the sister and her husband, they are 100% wrong. I did my best to defend them because
And
that's
you did a great job, by the way. I just want to point that out. You did an incredible job.
it
At
was
some point,
very hard.
at one point, at one point, I thought to myself, like, I don't even know how I'm defending this. Like, and I know I'm right.
No, I how can you when you see your sister going through something that she's lost her apartment because your nephew is going through something medical and they have debts that they had to leave their home because of how sick your nephew is. It is just boning. And look, they were in there for 10 minutes, a little over 10 minutes. Who cares?
Yeah, that's a quickie, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's not even a quickie. That's
That's
just
not even a
a
quickie.
that's just a howdy doody.
Yeah. I'm sorry to the poster. I know you. This is not the type of response you were probably looking for, but I gotta be honest. You're literally kicking your sister while she's down. It's not like they lost this house because they made some very poor financial decisions. Their child got sick. Now, if your story said something like they lost their house because they went out gambling, they got they gambled the house, then I definitely say you have a leg to stand on. But they lost their entire lives to make sure that their child stays alive. I just want to point that out there. Okay. And that's really important. That's a really important key factor because I'll tell you one thing, I will live under a bridge if it meant my child surviving.
Yeah, definitely. And I what I don't get is she's married. She knows how important those moments are. So especially when you have something so heavy going on in your life, sex is not just a bonding moment for a married couple or for any couple. It's not just a bonding moment for any couple. It is literally a stress reliever.
Absolutely.
So
100%.
if you know your sister's under stress with everything that she's got going on, and you're going to make a big deal that she's having an intimate moment with her husband, there's literally no words.
That went south so fast!
Okay. I think she's taken enough of a beating, and clearly to the listeners, we feel very strongly about this topic.
We've showered at my parents' house. You and me have showered at my parents' house, and they're just like, okay, like
I
they leave us
mean,
alone.
your brother found rotten tacos under the car seat. I said enough. I've said enough. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next story.
I just want to say, people are gonna be like, wait, hold on, rotten tacos, and you're talking about sex? What's happening here?
That'll be a story for another topic if we ever get into a Q&A, okay? So, we'll go ahead and move it on to the next story. You want to go ahead and take it away?
Am I in the wrong for telling my mom her dream for my wedding stopped being possible the day my dad died?
Ouch.
My dad died when I was 7 years old. He was my favorite person, my mom's favorite person at the time, and I kind of think he was the person who could complement our personalities enough for us to be super close. Even as a little kid, I kind of knew that. It broke the two of us when he died. But then she found someone else. She found Luke. She married Luke when I was 9 and he became her person. Luke, upon realizing my dad had been the parent I was closest to, tried to fill that space and was unwilling to listen when I said that space was reserved for my dad. It caused some tension. Over time, I let some things go. They would call themselves my parents or my mom and dad. I always called him Luke. I always told people close to me about my dad and would make sure it was known that Luke was not dad. Our relationship now that I am several years out of their house is amicable but not close. I don't hate them, but my mom and I still don't mesh well, and Luke still wants to fill that role my dad had, and I still don't want him to. Ever since I got en- Ever since I got engaged, my mom has been more present. She has told me how she always dreamed of this day and etc. etc. Over time, she brought up how she and Luke couldn't wait to see him walk me down the aisle and give me my father daughter dance and how they were excited to be mom and dad of the bride. I told her none of that was happening. She told me it was always her dream, though, that from the time she found out she was expecting a girl, she couldn't wait to watch me on my dad's arm and in his arms for a dance. I told her that was possible when dad was alive, but not when he was gone. She told me it was still possible. There was still my dad, which she means Luke, and that he deserved it. They both did. I told her I was walking with my fiance and no father daughter dance would happen. I told her he was not going to be listed as father of the bride anywhere because he is not my father. I ended up telling her to leave and I went back to less contact. Then my mom showed up unannounced and started to tell me all about this dream again and what it meant to her. And I told her clearly, without hesitation, that her dream stopped being possible when my dad died because he was not here to do that stuff and that Luke was never going to be filling my dad's role for me. I told her she might be able to switch them out easily, but I was not. She left in tears, telling me I had punished her for moving on and punished my dad, which is Luke, for not being my dad. That she and my dad deserve better than that, and I was spiteful. Am I in the wrong? So it looks like she added some more stuff. It says Luke, he cut up cards I had made slash given my dad for Father's Day that my dad had kept safe before he died, and cut up the back and left the front, and then turned them into a collage and acted like they were cards I had given him. When my mom and him brought out my birth certificate for something, he told me he couldn't wait to see his name on it instead of the old husband. He told me my dad had done nothing special and that he could do what my dad had done for me and my mom, but better. Mom, my mom just erased my dad from and added Luke too. I don't get how my mom just erased my dad from and added Luke to, then expected me to do the same. She even went as far as taking photo frames that had stuff like our family or dad and daughter and replacing them with photos that included Luke instead of my dad. She also told me more than once that Luke was our new favorite person, or would say, Dad's our favorite person, like always. And it was always in reference to Luke.
So, a quick reference to what the part you kind of stumbles on where it says, "My mom just erased my dad from and added Luke too." I think she means from her life. Like, her mom just removed the dad from her life. Like, mentally, he didn't exist anymore and just
Okay.
replaced him with Luke. That's what I'm taking it as.
Okay, because that really threw me off. I was really confused about that.
Yeah, this story has some really creepy vibes, but I mean, it's on the
Yeah.
list and we got to address it. We got to
Okay.
defend it.
All right.
So let me go ahead and flip the coin. You got heads. So you are defending the poster.
So you get the mom and the creepy dad,
I get the
the
mom.
creepy stepdad.
Jeez. All right. Well, let's go ahead and give you your 2 minutes.
Two?
And
What?
for the defense. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about, two?
Yeah, we get our 2 minute defense each one. Did you forget the rules?
We have 10 minutes.
Yeah, but I always we have like the introductory defense, and then
I didn't know this. What?
we've always done this.
You always say 10 minutes for us to say
Yes,
our. Okay,
but the initial 2 minutes is like our initial defense, where I don't interrupt you, you don't interrupt me, and then from there we just kill each other over the defense.
this is news to me.
Okay, fine. Here's your defense. Ready? I'm gonna start the time. Go.
Okay. This
That was
guy.
good. Thank you.
This guy, for him to go and cut up cards that she had made for her father, her dad, and say that insinuate that they were for him, that is creepy. And then for the right here where it says that he brought out the certificate and that he can't wait to put his name on it instead of quote unquote the old husband. Dude, screw you. You are not the dad. The dad was there for her. Not like he was an absent person. He was there and he passed away when she was 7 years old. So it's not like she was a baby or anything. She's got good memories of her dad. And for him to go and try to erase everything that relationship with, I've said this before and I'll say it again, a father-daughter relationship is something special. It's there's nothing like it. So for him to come in there and be like, no, I'm your dad, no, screw you.
Okay, so tell me how you really feel. Jeez, Louise, burn him at the stake and
Hey man,
burn it with fire.
hey man, you don't touch a dad. You do not touch a dad. I will watch movies and commercials where if there's even a slightly touching moment, I'll call up my dad and be like, Daddy, I love you.
And to the listeners, that's true. She's actually done that before.
I
Right after movies.
I have walked out of theaters just to call my dad and tell him that I loved him and gone back to the theaters.
She has. I can attest to that. Because, here I am thinking, oh, cool, she's going to get me a soda and a hot dog. Nope. Comes back with no soda and hot dog. All right, so here's my defense. Okay, so right off the bat, right, when you're starting a new family and you're marrying somebody that has a child, you have to understand that this child is going to be raised as now your own child. You have to help rear this child because you're starting a new family with this person and you're fully aware that this person has a child of their own. So you're not just marrying, excuse me, you're not just marrying this new individual, but you're acquiring a new daughter or new son, whatever the case may be, and according to the situation. And you have to try to fill the void and the gaps of where the child might feel insecure or unsafe. And as a father, I mean, we know several people that are stepfathers or stepmothers. You and I both personally. And when they refer to these children, they don't refer to them as my stepson, my stepdaughter. They refer to these kids as these are my children. right? We know somebody very within the immediate circle that literally came in and just said, "These are my children. I am taking them in as my own. I am raising them as my own." And it's not easy because you have to, one, provide a security, emotional security for your new spouse, right? Who is completely heartbroken about the deceased ex-husband. And you know what? I'm not even going to call him an ex-husband because it's not an ex-husband, a deceased husband, right? She's a widow. Now along with that, you also have to come in and do a lot of emotional repair with a daughter who just lost her dad. She just lost her dad. So you have to accommodate for that as well. And that's not easy. This guy may have taken the wrong approach to things, but it may have been act of desperation of trying to close the bondness and close the relationship gap amongst themselves, because he's realizing, hey, you know, I have to try to keep this family together, and I cannot do that if I'm being constantly compared to the deceased father. There's just no way. And emotionally, he has to do a lot of repairing. And it's not his responsibility to do so, but he accepted responsibility the second he said, "I do." He didn't have to do that. He could have gone after somebody who did not have a child, but he chose her. And along with choosing her, he took on two roles right off the bat that he didn't have to. And he chose to do it and said, "You know what? I'm going to raise his daughter." Think about it. This guy is going above and beyond to try to get recognized by this little girl as her father. I'm sorry. Do you know how many children would kill this, to have that type of relationship with their father or mother, or that would kill just to be able to say, "Wow, my mother, father really care about me this much"? You know, all we see on the news is recently those two parents that beat and basically killed their child because they didn't like him. Can you imagine that child having a parent like this saying, "I want to be a part of your life. I want to be your father. I want to help rear you and guide you for the rest of your life"? Not a lot of people are as lucky. And that's my take on it.
Okay. Because you want to be part of the child's life as much as you do, that's commendable. Because not everybody, when they marry somebody that has a child, not everybody is willing for that. You know, they're just kind of like, "I'm marrying you. I didn't agree to the kid. I know the kid comes with the package, but I'm marrying you, so that kid's nothing to me." I get that him wanting to be an active part of her life, to be her father figure, that's commendable, and we give him credit for that. What you don't get credit for is trying to erase her dad, trying to erase her father. You do not replace her dad. She was 7 years old when he died. So she's got good amount of memories with her dad. Our oldest is 8, and he still remembers when we would take him to Disneyland every week when he was 2 years old. He still remembers that. There are memories that you develop with your parents. The first 5 years of a child's life, they're a sponge, and they soak up as much as they can. So she's got good memories of her dad, and it says right here that he was her favorite person. If you want to have a relationship like that with your stepdaughter, let it come from her. Offer to say, "You know what, I could take over this dad position. I can be your dad. I can this, I can that. We can have the same relationship, maybe even better, if you let me." And let it come from the kid, that the kid says, "Yes, I will accept it." But if the kid says, "No, you're not going to replace my dad," then you need to accept that. You need to respect it, regardless if it's a child or not. You need to accept it and respect it, and be something else for the kid. If the kid doesn't want you to be a parental figure, be the one that they can turn to. Be the one that will be there for them in their corner when the mom is coming down on them. And, you know, being a parent, you can be the referee. Either if the kid is being wrong, then you can say, "Okay, this is why your mother is saying this," and be the referee. But if the mother's being wrong, then you can talk to her. There are so many ways that he could have had a good relationship, but he screwed it up because he wanted to be creepy. And I personally know someone that
That's creepy.
what?
I don't know. I just was finishing your sentence. You said you personally know someone, and I said, "What? That's
I
creepy."
was still talking.
Oh my goodness, jeez. Okay.
I I personally know somebody when they got married, the wife had already two kids already from a previous marriage. Their father had not passed away, they just got divorced. When she remarried, he the new husband offered to be a father figure and they didn't want it. But they said, we do acknowledge you as our stepdad. So be our stepdad, but you're not going to be our dad and you're not going to replace our dad because we have a good relationship with him. And he accepted that.
But at the same time, though, how do you not know this is coming out of frustration? Maybe he did try. Maybe throughout the entire years, he actually put his best foot forward, gave his best shot, but she just never had it. And
Then you need to
maybe
respect that.
it came from a place of frustration.
No,
He wanted more with her, and she denied him of that.
because as a child, when your father dies and then somebody else new comes in, that's a hard thing to deal with because you're still, dealing with the fact that your dad is gone and now you're seeing your mom move on. Especially this guy sounds like he was a good guy. And he was, it says right here, he was my favorite person, my mom's favorite person. And he helped complement their personalities.
Hmm.
So this guy was a good guy. It's not like he was some garbage person who, was abusive or anything. He was a good guy. For this step parent to come in and try to erase him so much that he's going to try to get his name put on the birth certificate. Ew, that is ugh.
You need to go brush your teeth or what?
Yes, it's just ugh.
Oh my god, what was that?
It's
Is that a drop or was that your voice?
It's icky. It's just icky.
Okay, well, we are at 11 minutes and 20 seconds. So, you read the story, so go ahead and give your true opinion.
I think the guy is,
So, listeners, this is actually our actual opinion from here forward.
yes, I think he's completely wrong in trying to erase her father. He's completely wrong for that. I give him credit for trying to be there for her, trying to be a father figure. That's commendable because, like I said, there's not a lot of guys that will do that. There's not a lot of women that would do that. But you have to understand that she had her dad. And if she tells you you're not going to replace him, leave it at that. Have the respect that you are never going to be, you're never going to replace her dad, ever. And if she makes that perfectly clear to you and respectfully, by the way, for him to go and completely disrespect her is wrong.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with you on everything because you're right. Like, yes, you're commendable for coming in and taking over this family now, and you're trying to take on that fatherly figure for her, but like you mentioned, be something more. You're clearly not going to be the guy for her as a father, right? Because a father is irreplaceable, especially when you have a close bond, a close relationship with her father. There's no replacing him. Period. You cannot replace that, no matter how hard you try.
A
And
relationship with a parent,
yes,
period.
exactly. And that's what I'm saying, that he was wrong. I mean, I guarantee, I'm pretty sure the reason why she felt so resistant to accepting him as the dad is because of all the creepy things he did.
Yeah.
Poster, you are not in the wrong for this. Um, you are definitely not in the wrong because that's just creepy. Trying to get the birth certificates replaced, that's
Hmm.
crazy. No, you're not. He's not there to replace. He's there to supplement. Big difference. There's a huge difference there, and the reason why I say supplement, and I'm using that word very, very carefully because He's there to supplement I guess the fatherly role in a certain to a certain degree, but he's not there to replace like what you've established with your father, with your deceased father. That's gold. That's irreplaceable by any means, and there's no reason why he should feel the need to have to replace him. Instead of trying to find the way to replace him, be there for you in a different way, in the ways that your dad no longer can. Okay, not replace, be there in a way that he no longer can because he is deceased now. I do not blame you for feeling this way at all because I'm going on a limb here, but I'm going to guarantee and say that had had Luke taken a different approach throughout all these years and not made it so creepy, I guarantee you our poster would not feel so strongly against Luke having her walk down the aisle.
Exactly.
You know,
Yes.
eventually that relationship would have been established, that relationship would have been repaired. She would have had emotional bonding with Luke, and I think that would have she would have been okay with having him walk down the having Luke walk her down the aisle. I don't know. It's just it's weird. And poster, I'm sorry. I agree with you 100%. You're not in the wrong on this. You are definitely
I'm
not in the wrong in my eyes.
I'm trying to find the spot. I can't find it, but where Luke says that he I can't find yeah, I can't find it.
The other guy, like you referring to your
No,
dad as the other guy, and
the old husband,
the
but
old husband, like he's not only did he try to replace, but he demeaned your dad.
oh yeah.
And no, that does not sit well with me at all.
I'm looking for the spot where he said that he would have had a better relationship with what the dad did is nothing special.
Yeah,
That's
no,
that
that's wrong. That is 100% wrong.
yeah.
That
I'm telling you this right now. I'm close to both of my parents. If something would have happened and if they would have split up or something, or if one would have died or anything, my dad, that's he's my knight in shining armor. I love my I am 100% a daddy's girl. And the
you
relation
don't say.
and the relationship that I have with my mom, I'm so close to her that sometimes we don't even act like mother and daughter, we act like friends.
Yeah.
You've seen that firsthand, the way me and her are with each other. So it's
Yeah, 100%.
yeah, I am close to both of my parents. And if I was in our poster's shoes, 100%, not only would I have made it known to Luke that he's being creepy and a garbage person, but I
A
would have
garbage
gotten
person.
I would have gotten the crayons and something simple for him to understand that he is not replacing anyone.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I
He is
100% agree.
just there for my other parent.
So yeah, poster, you are not in the wrong for feeling that way. Because and I go back to the same thing. I guarantee you, had he taken a different approach instead of trying to become a replacement and demean your father, and taking the approach of, look, I can't replace him, but I will promise to do what I can to be there for you. I guarantee you, poster, you probably would have allowed him to walk you down the aisle. And I could be wrong, but ultimately, it is your wedding and it is your decision. So you're not wrong in this at all.
Exactly.
That's our final stance on that. Thank you. Thank you. All right, so let's go ahead and move into the final story here. Am I in the wrong for begging my wife to just leave my mom alone and not confront her? Okay, so my mom is currently visiting us. This is the first time since we moved 3 years ago. She is not one of those intrusive mother in laws, so sometimes I just wish my wife would let the little things slide. My mom and wife had some issues years ago, but my mom had been fine during this visit. The only issue is she isn't eating, and I mean literally isn't eating anything. She is clearly going out and buying food because she doesn't seem sick or lethargic at all. But since getting to our house, the only thing I have seen her eat is one chocolate peanut butter cup. Oh my god, that sounds so good right now.
Does.
Right?
Hey,
That's
you want to go get one after we're done?
dude, I am down. I That's my favorite candy.
Yes, let's do it.
Okay. So she sits with us while we eat, but she always says that she isn't hungry and doesn't feel well, though she seems fine. Later in the evening, she asks to use my car to go get quote unquote coffee, so I'm sure she's going out and getting what she wants and binge eating enough to get through the next day. Personally, I don't care. She's being a good guest. It's nice for me to see her, and she isn't being careless with my car, so no problem, no harm, no foul. My wife, however, is furious. She is currently not speaking to my mom due to this. She says that I need to confront her or she will. I flat out refused and said, as I said, she is being polite about it, and who are we to force her to basically eat here at the house? My wife called me spineless and said that she's going to handle it. She called my mom and sister to get their opinion. I'm sorry. She called her mom and her sister to get their opinion and is now ready for the confrontation. I broke down this morning and begged her to just let it go. She accused me of wanting her to just shut up and endure for my sake and is now mad at me. She says that she has to do it as I am being a mama's boy. My mom is flying home tomorrow and I just do not see any reason to make this an issue. Am I in the wrong? God, I feel I already have a strong opinion about this, but I
All
cannot give
right.
it yet. So I am going to flip the coin, and just to be clear, because sometimes go on a full defense defending the wrong person. Okay. The people to defend here are the wife or the husband, not the mom. Okay, you're not defending the mom. Okay, just to be
I
clear.
hate so much about the things that you choose to be.
Believe me, I say that to myself every day in the mirror. All right, so I'm flipping the coin here, and you got tails.
So
Well,
I'm defending the.
wife.
Oh my god.
I mean,
All right, you know
you
what?
cannot argue with the coin. You cannot.
Okay. I defended the first one. I didn't want that one. I can do this.
I mean,
Well, you always left me satisfied and smiling.
All right.
all right. So I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start the timer. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Ready, go. Just to be clear, you're defending the wife. Okay. Now that we got that out of the way.
Hate you.
Love you too.
Start talking.
Any minute now because you read the story. I read the story. Holy crap. Wait a minute. So that means I got tails. Oh, geez. That's what I get for making fun of you.
Wait a minute. Oh, you're right.
Oh, geez.
We both quapped on this.
Okay. So I don't feel as bad. I mean, the timer's still going. We haven't even started the defense yet, but the timer's still
Okay.
going. So okay. So I got tails. So I am defending.
That is what you get, by the way, for laughing.
Ah, jeez, I know. I screwed myself up. Like I
Yes.
screwed myself over.
Yep.
Okay. Jeez. All right. So I'm gonna have to. Okay. So I'm gonna start the clock again. I'm gonna restart it because we've done nothing yet.
I know.
But I just want to say, just give me. I just need a few seconds because I have to defend this wife who I completely disagree with, and I just need a quick meditation second.
Alrighty then.
Okay. Whew. Okay, I think I'm good to go. For those of you who don't know, that was Ace Ventura. What's it called? Okay, so here we go. Ready? Starting the timer now. Okay, so the poster already said that the mother and his wife already had a rocky relationship to begin with, right? So from the wife's perspective, this could be looked at as petty, right? And if you're being petty after we've already resolved these issues and we're trying to be on good ground, so why not go the full extent and just be cordial, enjoy our company, enjoy the time with us? I mean, why do you have to go out and go eat? I mean, if you got a side piece when that's why you're going out, then hey, that's your deal. Okay, but I mean, if you're doing it just because you are trying to say like, you know what, I am not going to touch your food, look, just be the bigger person. You're already staying at their house. You're staying with your son. You're staying with his wife. be there with them. I mean, that's what you're there for, right? You're there to spend time with them, and you're going to be so petty as to not want to touch their food because you don't want anything to do with her. You're there. Be there. You're already there, so be there with them. And from the wife's perspective, it can be looked at as very, very petty. There's no reason for the mom to have to go out there because you're taking a jab. You're taking a jab, and it's not needed, especially since you've already established these grounds that I lost my train of thought. But here we go. Okay, here we go. So you've already made amends, and there's no reason for you to be that petty over food. Over food, really? Food? That you're gonna be so petty over food as a little jab and reminding her, it's like, hey, we're not 100% yet, and I just wanted to let you know. And that's how you're gonna do it. It's wrong. Your turn.
Okay. I'm gonna start my introduction with a question that I genuinely want you to answer, because this is something that I actually I wonder about in reality. So I'm gonna pose you a question. Yes or no, when we are with our family, either side, say if everybody is gonna have Chinese food.
Yes, I have a feeling I know where this is going, and I have the perfect response for that, but go ahead.
And I'm not in the mood for Chinese food.
This is going exactly where I thought it was going, so I have the perfect defense for that. Go ahead.
I'm in the mood for Mexican food.
Mm-hmm.
What is the big deal with me saying, okay, you all of you can get that, but I'm just going to order this for myself, and I'm not saying for everybody to change what they want, so just to accommodate me. No, you all get what you all want, but I'm not in the mood for that, so I'm just going to order it for myself.
Yes, there is a difference. It is expected of you. You cannot eat anything from where the same place that anybody else orders. Why? I don't know. You just have this compulsive disorder.
That is not true.
It is so true.
No,
everybody
it's not.
wants pizza. You love pizza. You love pizza. Everybody gets pizza. No, I want a burger. Okay, fine. We're all gonna get a burger. I want Chinese food. We're all gonna get a Chinese food. I want Jack in the Box. Oh my God! It is a complete mind beep here. Just choosing food with you. It is a nightmare.
It is no. This is how I am.
It is a nightmare choosing a place to eat with you. So it's expected of you.
No. This is my thing though. I do not like when things are changed because of me. That's why I always ask, especially when it's your family, what is everybody gonna get? Everybody makes an agreement, and if it's something that I am not in the mood for, then I say, okay, that sounds good. And I take care of my own thing.
Yes,
I handle it on my own.
Yes, but you've been doing that since the day I met you. I've
been doing that since I was a kid.
And that's exactly what I was going to lead into. I've heard stories about how the whole family would choose to have one thing. I mean, your neighbors had jokes about you growing up for this exact reason. So we know that you're just crazy. Okay, but that's the thing. But the mom is not like that. The mom is not doing any of that, right? She's being petty because the mom is not just wanting to eat her own thing, wanting to do this thing. She's doing it with the motive of trying to instigate her daughter-in-law. So the wife clearly has a problem. The wife has a problem because it's like, hey, I thought we were on good terms. Hey, I thought we were doing good now. Why are you being so petty with me now? Now it's like shots fired. Okay, I'm not gonna back down from it. I'm gonna stand my ground and let you know how I feel.
Okay.
You're just on a different level of crazy.
Well, first of all, you knew that when we met because we were best friends before we even started dating. So you knew I was crazy. So
it was not in the
married
fine
to
print.
me. No, you being married to me is your own fault.
There was never a disclosure in the marital certificate, and I feel lied to and betrayed.
Hey, you also had warnings, okay? But anyway.
No. You had red flags, not warnings. You had red flags. It's like ADHD guy. Your life will be a total mess. You had red flags, warnings. There was a guy with the two lights from the airport, like shining you, like, hey, go back.
And you still decided to be like, okay, let's go.
Anyways, back to the topic. We're running time here. So,
Okay. My question is if it's not a big deal. She's making this huge deal over, oh, she's not eating the food that I'm making.
but it's because
Dude.
she's trying to send a message.
How is she trying to send a message? It says right here, my mom has been fine during this visit.
Mm-hmm.
The only issue is she isn't eating. That means she's not fighting with the wife. She's not making anything uncomfortable. Everything has been perfectly fine.
But she's
Who's
being
the
petty
one?
by going out to eat somewhere.
No,
and
no.
refusing to eat her
The wife.
She's
The wife is
starving
being
herself. He said that she's basically starving herself.
No.
And she's going
No,
on a
she's
binge.
not.
She's going on a
No.
binge to survive the next day. It
No,
says
it
it
says
right there.
It says he assumes that.
Okay, if she's not eating anything in the house and she's showing up at 5 p.m., doesn't go out after that, she's not eating from 5 p.m. until the next day where she decides to go out somewhere. There's no assumption.
What if it's not a thing of being petty? What if it's simply a thing of she knows the wife maybe cooks a certain... Okay, as Hispanics, we need our spice. Okay, if food is bland...
You are not allowed to say that.
Excuse me, sir?
You are not allowed to say that because anything that
I'm
has
not
even
talking
the
about-
slightest bit of remote of spice, you like throw a full-blown childish temper tantrum that is too spicy.
You're talking about chili. Yes, chili I do not eat, but I'm talking about spices. Like actual cooking spices. Like oregano, parsley, pepper, salt. Not everybody uses those flavors.
Well, why doesn't this mother like... What does she got against the oregano?
No. That's my point. What if the wife doesn't cook with spices and the food is just too bland? So instead of telling her, hey, let me show you what to do in the kitchen, she's just, saying, oh, no, thank you. She's being polite about it. It says here that when she turns down the food, she doesn't do it aggressively. She just says, oh, it's okay. I'm good for right now.
Yeah, but I mean, you're there to visit. I mean, the best part is when you have those family moments, right? You're gonna have a family dinner. You're sitting down together, having a chat, having this, having that. Can you pass the salt type thing? And,
What if the wife is making something that she's allergic to and she's just too embarrassed to say something, especially since they had issues?
If you're allergic to something, you're not gonna be too embarrassed to say I'm allergic to it. Like I'm sorry, I'm too embarrassed to say that food that you just fed me is gonna end me up in the hospital. Nobody should be embarrassed about saying they're allergic to
Because
something.
what
That's a health
if
issue.
If the issue is that they've had problems in the past, she's trying to avoid what's happening right now, which is the wife, saying, oh, she's doing it for this and this and that, and now the wife is not even speaking to her or her husband. So maybe she was, not eating anything just to spare her feelings and not say something. She blew the wife is blowing this way out of proportion.
You're there visiting a couple days. What literally? Do you think that she's gonna get poisoned? Like, what is going on here? Do you think she's trying to hurt you? You're there. For
You don't know what the
days.
problems were. You don't know what the problems were.
Okay, I think it's pretty fair to say that we're gonna rule out the possibility of murder.
I'm not saying murder, stupid. I'm
Well,
saying
you said
like
you know what she's gonna do to her food. That's murder.
that's not murder. Haven't you? Don't you remember that J-Lo movie?
Oh, when they added laxatives.
Yeah, no. That was something else. But no. Monster-in-Law
Oh, the
with
fish,
J-Lo.
the fish, yeah, the crawfish or whatever.
She added sleeping medication to her food. That's technically poisoning, but it didn't kill her, and her intention was not to kill her.
Correct.
It was
That's
just so she
also a
could go to
felony.
sleep.
Messing with people's food is also a felony.
Okay, but she wasn't doing it to kill her, and she wasn't doing it to end her up in the hospital. She just did it so she could get a night of sleep.
But you're there with your family. I can't wrap my head around it.
Okay, well, what is it that you can't get your head wrapped around?
I'm just glad that we're past the 10 minutes. Clearly, that's all. I'm like trying to stall for time here. Like, we're at the 10-minute mark. Okay, cool. Now we can give our true opinions.
Yes.
Okay, so go ahead. Actually, I read, right?
No, you read first.
Okay, so my honest opinion to the poster, your wife is being extremely unreasonable.
Mm-hmm.
Your mom is being a good guest. She's behaving. She's put aside their differences, and the only thing she's doing differently is just eating out. I 100% agree with you with what you said. What if the food is too bland for her taste buds? What if her taste is something else? What if she doesn't get to go out to eat very often, and that she's visiting you now? She says, "Hey, I have some free time to spend, by, a little me time." So she's using those moments to go out to eat as her me time. I 100% get that. I 100% get that, and I to the poster, you are not wrong for not wanting your wife to confront her about it, because life is about choosing your battles, choosing and picking your battles. And if you go at every single obstacle with the combative mindset, your life is going to be miserable. And if your wife is doing this with something so petty, geez, I feel sorry for you the day you guys come across a real life complicated situation, because she's going to go off the wall for that. If she's treating something so small and minute, this big of a deal, when you guys come across something big, it's going to get out of hand. So I feel sorry for you on that one. And no, I do not agree. I do not think you're in the wrong at all, because, like you said, she's being a good guest. She's leaving in a day or two to top it off. She's almost on her way out, and your wife's choosing to pick a fight with her on the way out. So, poster, you are not in the wrong for this. Your wife needs to tighten the screws up a little bit.
Now, me, I am 97% with the poster, 3% with the wife.
That is a very, very specific number.
The
97%. Okay.
the reason why, and I'm making sure that it's a very, very small amount, but still an amount enough more than just 1%. And let me tell you why. Because I agree the wife is making a huge deal out of this for no reason. She's probably looking into it more than what it needs to be. But the reason why I can understand why she's so upset is because if she has the mindset that her mother-in-law is coming and she's going to try to move forward, going to try to make amends, what is one of the biggest bonding time with families? It's food. Food is always something that people join together for. If she is using this as a time to move forward with her mother in law, she is in that kitchen busting her butt to make sure that everything is perfect. Maybe she even asked her husband, "Hey, what does your mom like to eat? What are her favorite meals?" So that way I can make sure that I have the food that she likes.
That's a very good point. Like, did your wife ask you, like, what are any specific meals that your mother likes to eat? That's a very good point, because had she gone probably out of her way to ask that kind of a question, she might have known what to cook. So
Yeah,
that's a very good point. I'm glad you brought that up.
because the thing is like when I for example me, when I make food for your family, it's a big deal to me because I need to make sure that everything is how they like it. I know that your dad doesn't like to eat chili. I know that your mom likes chili. So I don't cook with chili, but I make sure that there's chili for your mom to bite on.
Hmm.
I, it's a big deal to me to make sure that they enjoy their food.
Hmm.
And so far, majority of everything that I've made, they enjoy. But I know how hard I work when I'm cooking for them, or how hard I work when I'm cooking for anybody. Just cooking, period. So, and especially when you're putting your heart into it. If
Hmm.
you're putting everything of you into this meal to try to make sure that you're moving forward and you're making amends, and she's not eating, how is that not going to come off bad?
Yeah.
But then the reason why I don't agree with her is because she's by coming off and not talking to the mother-in-law and then getting mad at the husband. Don't come at it so aggressively. Try talking with her. Say, is there something wrong? Do you want me to make something else? Is there still an issue? Try talking it out with the mother-in-law. If that doesn't work, then talk to your husband. But talk. Don't get upset, because all that does is it invalidates everything that you're trying to say.
Yep. And the thing is that, out of everything you just said and all those great points you just brought out, right? I
Mhm.
think the part that I'm most impressed by is that you were able to add up those percentages to equal 100%, 97 plus 3.
I promise you.
Knowing your mathematical skills.
No, I
You have a
promise you.
calculator? You have a calculator, don't you?
No, no, no. I was using my fingers. I was like, okay, 97, 98, 99, 100, 3. Okay. I was
I'm
doing
over
that.
here like you're over here 97% and 3%. I'm like, hold up, that's a little too fast for you. Well, how did you do that? Show me your calculator. I know you got one over there.
I know.
For the listeners, she is that bad at math.
If okay,
I
for
wish I was
anybody,
exaggerating. I wish I was exaggerating, but I'm not.
if anybody here is a Kevin and Bean listener, I think I'm comparable, if not worse, than Allie McKay as far as math. Allie McKay has admitted that she, is bad at math and
I've listened to the show. You are by far worse.
okay, there
I've
you
listened
go.
to the show. You are by far worse.
There you go.
Oh my god, this was a really good set of conversations. Very touchy. All three of these stories that we touched on today were very, very touchy.
Yeah. So you know what? I actually changed my 97/3. I I'm gonna say that there's not enough information to go by, so I'm gonna say I'm
I stand with the poster. Just leave it alone. Let the mother do her thing. You
okay.
know.
That I agree with. I agree with. It's not a big deal if she wants to go get her own food because I do that.
Hmm.
I really don't see the big deal. I don't. It's if everybody's going to buy food anyways, what is the big deal if all of you want to get something and I get something else? You're not paying for it. So
Hmm.
what's the big deal if I get something else on my own if I don't feel like having what you're going to have? So see, to me, that's not worth making a big deal over. That is something dumb, and for her to get that upset over it is dumb. What isn't dumb is if she's trying really, really hard in the kitchen, working hard to make sure that it's good for her mother-in-law, good for her husband. Everybody enjoys themselves, and the mother-in-law just dismisses it. That I don't agree with.
Yeah. Well, I mean, ultimately, we gave our best defenses, we gave our best stances, but the show's called "You Be the Judge," as the listeners be the judge. So, give us your thoughts and your opinions, and let us know what you guys think. So, well, everybody, that's a wrap for today. So, let us know your thoughts and your arguments on who you think is in the wrong, and don't forget to write to us on either YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and all those social medias ever. Let us know on your thoughts on who won. And if there's a story you'd like us to read or even feature a story that happened to you or a situation in which you currently find yourself in, please email it to ohsojudgy@gmail.com. Don't worry, we'll keep your names and scenarios discreet. And again, please feel free to write to us and let us know what your thoughts are. We are very interested in the different perspectives you guys can bring to the table. You don't have anything to say?
Words are hard, guys.
Okay, then. Well, until next time, judges, this is You Be the Judge.
You be the judge right now. You can be the judge right now. You be the judge.
Here comes the judge.
You be the judge right now.